Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Ever heard the word Viking and immediately pictured horned helmets, brutal raids, and bloodthirsty warriors? Well, you're not alone. Hollywood and historical fiction have painted a pretty vivid, if not always accurate, picture of these legendary people. But what if I told you that much of what you think you know about Vikings is actually a myth? Today we're diving deep into the fascinating world of the Norse, peeling back the layers of legend to uncover the real lives of the Vikings. Get ready to have your mind blown because their story is far more complex, colorful, and surprising than you could ever imagine. Let's get started. First thing first, those iconic horned helmets? Totally a myth. There's no archaeological evidence whatsoever to suggest Vikings ever wore helmets with horns into battle. That image actually originated in the 19th century with costume designers for operas and later became a popular trope. In reality, Viking warriors likely wore simple conical or rounded helmets, often made of iron for practical protection. Think less dramatic opera and more efficient battle-ready gear. So next time you see a cartoon Viking, remember, those horns are pure fantasy. Beyond the battlefields, Vikings were also incredible seafarers and master shipbuilders. Their long ships, with their shallow drafts and symmetrical design, were technological marvels of their time. These ships weren't just for raiding. They were vital for exploration, trade, and even colonization. Imagine navigating treacherous seas, crossing vast oceans, and discovering new lands without modern navigation tools. They sailed across the Atlantic, reaching North America centuries before Columbus, establishing settlements in places like Greenland and even L'Anse-aux-Meadows in Newfoundland. Their ships allowed them to connect distant lands, fostering a vast network of trade routes that stretched from the Middle East to the Arctic. They weren't just taking, they were trading, bringing goods, ideas, and cultures across continents. Speaking of trade, while raiding certainly happened, it was far from the only thing Vikings did. In fact, many Vikings were primarily farmers, fishermen, and skilled artisans. They lived in settled communities, cultivating crops like barley and rye, raising livestock such as cattle, pigs, and sheep, and making a living off the land and sea. Their daily lives revolved around the seasons, communal tasks, and maintaining their homesteads. Farming was tough work, demanding strength and resilience, but it formed the bedrock of their society, providing food and resources for their families and communities. They were self-sufficient, resourceful, and deeply connected to their natural environment. Viking society was also surprisingly sophisticated, with a complex legal system and a strong emphasis on community and social order. They had assemblies called things, where free men and women would gather to discuss laws, settle disputes, and elect leaders. These assemblies were foundational to their governance, showcasing a form of early democracy. Justice was dispensed, agreements were made, and societal norms were upheld through these gatherings. This wasn't a lawless society. It was one built on collective decision-making and a shared understanding of rights and responsibilities. Individuals had rights, and disputes were often settled through detailed legal codes and collective consensus, not just brute force. And what about their cleanliness? Forget the stereotype of unkempt barbarians. Vikings were actually quite meticulous about personal hygiene. Archaeological finds reveal a treasure trove of grooming tools, combs made from bone and antler, tweezers, ear spoons, and even razors. They bathed regularly, often in natural hot springs or heated water, and there's evidence they even used soap-like substances. For Vikings, being clean wasn't just about comfort, it was also a sign of status and social respect. So they probably smelled a lot better than many of their contemporaries in other parts of Europe. Their artistic expression was incredibly rich and intricate too. Think about the stunning craftsmanship in their jewelry, weaponry, and wood carvings. They created beautiful pieces adorned with elaborate knotwork, mythological beasts, and abstract patterns. These weren't just decorative. They often told stories, depicted their beliefs, and symbolized their connection to the spiritual world. Their art wasn't confined to grand halls. It was woven into everyday objects, transforming functional items into works of beauty and meaning. From the intricate details on a brooch to the elaborate carvings on a longship, Viking art is a testament to their skill and aesthetic sensibility. And let's talk about women. Viking women held a much more prominent and respected position in society than many other European women of the era. They could own property, initiate divorce, and even lead households when their husbands were away. They managed farms, ran businesses, and were skilled craftswomen. While men were often involved in voyages and warfare, women were the backbone of the home front, ensuring the continuity and prosperity of the community. Some sagas even hint at female warriors, or shield maidens. though archaeological evidence for widespread female warriors is still debated. Regardless, their influence and autonomy were significant and often overlooked in popular depictions. Their spiritual beliefs were deeply woven into their daily lives too. The Norse pantheon, with gods like Odin, Thor, and Freya, and mythical creatures like giants and trolls, provided a framework for understanding the world. They believed in a rich afterlife, whether in Valhalla for fallen warriors or in other realms depending on their life's path. Rituals, sacrifices, and storytelling were crucial to their religious practices. Their mythology isn't just a collection of fanciful tales. It's a profound system of belief that guided their actions, explained the inexplicable, and connected them to a larger cosmic order. So, when we look beyond the popular myths, we discover a Viking society that was far more complex, adaptable, and innovative than often portrayed. They were fierce warriors, yes, but also shrewd traders, brilliant navigators, skilled artisans, and dedicated farmers. They built sophisticated societies with legal systems, valued personal hygiene, and created beautiful art. Their impact on history, from their explorations to their contributions to trade and culture, is undeniable. They weren't just raiders. They were builders, thinkers, and explorers who shaped the course of centuries. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey to uncover the real Vikings. I hope this video has challenged some of your preconceived notions and given you a deeper appreciation for these incredible people. If you learned something new or enjoyed this deep dive, please hit that like button, share this video with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more fascinating historical content. Let me know in the comments below what other historical myths you'd like me to bust. See you next time.